So Boku dake or Erased is now over, and I would have to say it was not that good. Like, because the last episode, it's so stupid the way that he goes up on the roof and he's just like, "I know that you're the killer." Like he's like, "I got the memories back and everything," and like I'm just like, okay, like it one thing is, I know that you have friends. I know it's like what they're trying to get at you in this episode is like he's now using his friends and he now has like grown up and like he's like and everything like he's now using his friends and everything. He has these friends and everything, in his life, and they're gonna help him out with all of this, and that's fine and dandy. That is fine and dandy, but no, because that was not the point in like episode like 1 through like 11 or like or like 1 through like 10. I would say like they tried to do it like last episode just a little bit, you could tell, but like I was just like, really, like I don't know, like it felt like like and also just because he felt like on a whim like that, like because the killer could have killed him and he sort of ways up on that roof and or thrown him off. I mean, like he did throw him off, but here's the thing. He's just like, I know you're not gonna kill me because you care about me and you love me and you know that you need me. And I'm just like, how do you know that? How did you know? Like I know that he probably got the information, but I'm just like, why would the killer do that? Why would the teacher do that? Why would the teacher be like, I'm gonna care for this kid and act like he's my own pet and everything? Like that doesn't even fit his MO. Like what he did. He's like, I stopped being the killer because I can take care of you because I care about you and I just want to kill you, or something like that. It felt like since Sato was asleep, he was asleep. And he couldn't kill people. And I was like, that makes no sense. Like I was like, just because you're waiting for like information, or like you're waiting for like something, I don't know. I don't know, cause it's pretty stupid. But I'm gonna get to all this. This is gonna be a whole thing. So if you have never watched my last episode reviews on stuff, then you know I go over the whole series as a whole and give you a score of what I think the show is for me personally. So, I felt like this last episode, it should have harkened back to the mother and him and their relationship together, because that was the point of him going back in time in the first place. His mother died, and that was kind of like the whole point. And I was really thinking, maybe I get what they're doing with the whole friend thing and everything, but kind of, settle it down a little bit and harken back to the mother at the end. At least it would give it some credit, I would have to say, for the ending here to, bring it all back together for what he was going back in time for on on one level. And they never did it. And I mean, I was just like, in the mother, for a mother, she was great as a mother. I loved her as a mother. It's just that they never really did anything. I'll get into that later, but never really did anything with her. And I felt like they should have had him come to her at the end of this and maybe go to her house and have dinner with her or something like that. Go back to the ways that it were and show like, just show like how they're like still together. Like, they still like love each other and stuff. And like he goes and sees her more and whatever, because I felt like in the beginning that he never really went and saw her. I felt like they had somewhat of a nice relationship together, but it was kind of distant for him. Like, he didn't really, he wasn't really in it all the way. But it felt like, they could have really done, like, their bond is closer or something like that. They came back to the manga plot from the first scene in this anime in episode 1. And I felt like it could have been a lot better if they were going to do what they were going to do in the beginning of this anime, in, like, the first few episodes. Because it was really evident that they were talking about him having to writer's block because he couldn't move on from his past and how he was making the same mistakes and how he needed to like grow as a character. And he kind of did grow as a character, but not in the direction they were heading to in the beginning, or not from the direction that I was seeing from the beginning. And my God, like, I was just like, are you kidding me? But, God, like, I was really hoping that they were gonna, I felt like the manga plot was kind of weird. I don't know. but it felt like it was kind of just slapped on there so you could show like, hey, look, he's okay now. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see what I talk about here in a minute. Okay. Last episode here in the last scene, he met Irie again. Okay. And he's gonna get with the pizza girl, I guess. And I'm wondering if because it acted like he's just like, he's like, I do believe, or something, like it was something like that. Like he was like it's not like he was waiting for her, but it's just like since she was there, he felt like, really happy about it. Like he was in love with her at a point. And I'm just like, it seemed like you were way more in love with Hinazuki than you were this pizza girl. Now, they're probably gonna get together, but we're never gonna know about this because it's the end of the anime. They're not gonna have a second season because there's no point. But it felt kind of weird that he's getting with Irie. I don't know. Felt like she needed a little bit more of a character for me to care. And I'll be getting that when I talk about the characters here and the overall. So what I'm gonna talk to you about first, and the whole show altogether here, is how it started with a decline. I felt like the first episode was great. I did. That's the thing. Like, first episode, I was like, pacing's fine. Like, pacing's fine. The time travel is okay and everything. Like it's fine that he doesn't know how the powers work if the powers are consistent. But I'll be getting on the powers in a minute. Him going back in time and everything, that beginning sequence paced very well for me. I liked it. I liked what they set up and everything with the mother. I liked what they set up everything up with the manga thing and how he needed to do whatever. Even episode 2, when he was like going and everything, like he was making the same mistakes that he was in the past, and how it was showing that he is still like the same person. He needs to move past him being that person to become, himself, open up and everything. That was kind of the point. And they had that in like the first few episodes, when they dropped it. They just completely dropped it for some reason, and they went into the whole mystery investigation element with here. But oh god, I'll be getting to that. So I just want to kind of talk about the manga plot here. So manga plot is kind of like what I was talking about with, they had the episode 1 through, I think it was like 1 through 5 or 6. They had this whole thing with him repeating past mistakes, and I really liked that, but then they dropped it, and then it was going on a little bit more about like him investigating, and him investigating really was like garbage. Like it was garbage. I was like, oh god. So basically what I mean by this is like, okay, if you look at this as in mystery anime, it's garbage, mainly because you know who the killer is from episode 2, and you cannot say that it's genius for them to tell you who the killer is from episode 2, and then you think it's so obvious that the killer is, that you then put doubt in your own mind that the killer is who it is, which is the teacher. So then you think it's smart that they did that. That's not a good mystery, and that's just like Scooby-Doo mystery. I'm sorry. You know who the killer is in Scooby-Doo in the first like minute to 5 minutes of Scooby-Doo. That's not a good mystery. It's fun to watch because Scooby-Doo is for kids. It's for like 8-year-olds, but it's fun to watch still. You harken back to those memories. This isn't like that. This is supposed to be a more of an adult mystery anime, psychological and everything. And they just didn't do that right. Like Satoru, his logic on how he thinks that he needs to save his mother, like, because this is the whole thing. He goes back in time. He wants to save his mother. He never really gets that. It never really has that feeling that he wants to save his mother in the end of this anime. And you get this by, look, he's investigating everything. He's not really investigating, but his logic of him having to, he's just like, if I save these girls, like these 3 girls, then the killer won't kill anybody. And then my mother will be safe. That's like his logic or something like that. But then it goes into like, after he saves the 3 girls, he's just like, okay, now I need to investigate and see who the killer goes after next, who's alone. And I'm just like, why don't you, what? Like, because how does that make any sense whatsoever? Because you have to be following the killer for your whole life to ever get to the point. Like, if the killer didn't walk up to him, okay, because The killer doesn't. The teacher didn't need to walk up to him. Teacher could have went and killed that girl. Like at any time. Like if you think about it, like at any time he could have like went and killed that girl. Like it's not like Satoru's around that girl 24/7. But like it's a thing where like the killer could have moved on to another girl. The killer could have done this. It's whatever. And it's kind of stupid logic, I felt like. Like, I'm just like, how does this ever help you find the killer? Or, like, at any chance, protect your mother, which is the whole point. Uh, like, whatever. Because he didn't even, like, figure it out. The killer told him. Like, and I was like, yeah, dude, I knew from episode 2. Like, how'd you not get that, Satoru? But, yeah. It's kind of stupid. Time travel is kind of bullshit. The whole series, I felt like it was literally just a plot device, and I'm fine with this. Like, here's the thing, I'm fine with the time travel being like not explained if it was consistent with what it was doing. So like him going back in time after an incident and having to prevent that incident was fine, even though like his mother already died. Even though like his mother already died like before he went back in time or whatever, that's like not how it works. But like, I'm fine with it. I'm fine with it. It's when he goes back to the future that it makes no sense, because his power never did that. Like his power wasn't supposed to make him go back to the future, and when he did go back to the future, it felt like it was setting back the anime like 2 episodes. Like it was like 2 episodes of me just like get back to the past so you can focus on that some more. But even when they did, it was kind of stupid. Now, then it's a whole thing where like he goes back to the, I don't know, the time travel is pretty stupid. If it was consistent, I wouldn't have a big problem with it, but since it wasn't, it's kind of stupid. And even at the end of this anime, when he was just like, I haven't had the power since I've woken up or whatever, like it's just like, wow, so the plot device, after you done what you're supposed to do in the show, they took the power away from you so you can't do it again. I'm just like, wow, that's some great plot device, like plot convenience you got there going, you know? Like you just took away the plot device for the character. But it's pretty stupid. Other characters in the show, I would have to say, Satoru's best friend, who's like 21, 23, something like that, when he was like, who got convicted of the murder. I felt like we needed more on him, because he was just in like 2 scenes in this anime, and it was just like the show, like he was like weird, and like he was like his friend a little bit, and then they never really went back to that after like at the end of this anime. It just kind of showed like a plane in like the little creek or whatever. And I was just like, okay, is that supposed to harken back to the guy or whatever? Like, is he fine? Like I don't, like I don't know. Like I'm just like, what? Like you should have, like, if you're gonna introduce these plot elements about the killer and like your connections to these people, maybe you should like harken back to these connections to these people in the anime and in this format. I don't know. I feel like that's what they should have done. Other characters in this anime, Hinazuki, fine, like she's not really much of a character. She's more just like the damsel in distress, so then like the character has something to protect, I guess, and then she becomes the wife of a character who really isn't developed at all, and kind of is also a damsel in distress in a way. And yeah, and then his best friend, who I thought was going to be a bigger picture in this anime overall. Like I was just like, okay, this guy's going to be something big in this anime, and he really isn't. Like I was really thinking he was going to like be another time traveler, maybe he was going to like be something important to the plot whatsoever, but he really wasn't. It was more just he was the best friend, and which is fine, but like he felt like he needed to be more like Satoru and everything, which like I was just like, okay, and that's pretty much his character. It didn't seem like that, but I just felt like he could have had more to himself. Like they mentioned that thing one time for him, and like 1 or 2 times for his character, and then they kind of just, it was kind of just there so then they could have this last episode with the whole friend thing. I felt like it was kind of weird. I felt like the pacing was stupid after like episode 2. Like the pacing overall was pretty stupid for episode 2. Great art and animation for this series, I have to say. Overall, pretty retarded. Like, I like mystery element, stupid. Psychological, good for the first 6 episodes when they were doing the whole thing with him, like him reliving stuff and him like making the same mistakes that he was doing and everything. I was liking that. But they dropped it, and then they never really went back to it, and just everything else in this anime, like I really was not liking the whole thing with Hinazuki's mother and how they added in a backstory for her, so then we could maybe the beatings, were a little bit justified in the end. Like really, like did we like? I'm fine with the beatings being justified a little bit. I'm fine with that. It's just that when they put it in the last 2 minutes of her scene before she leaves the show entirely, it's stupid. It's not. It shouldn't be there. It should have been fleshed out upon throughout the episode she was in. Like show little things like that. But no, they didn't do it because, for all intents and purposes, the writer doesn't know how to write a good show. I'm sorry, or a good manga, whatever the source material was. And I know they took out some stuff in here from the source material, which might have made the show better, but from everything else in the show, it doesn't seem like it was. So overall, this show, not that good. There were some things in there that in the beginning I was like, this could lead upon good things. Maybe they could, do some other things with this show and characters and stuff like that. And the whole montage at the end could have meant something with him meeting up with his friends or something like that. But no. So the score I would give this anime is a 4 out of 10, and I felt like it's a 4 out of 10 and not like a 3 out of 10 like I've been hearing from a lot of people, mainly because I felt like the first 6 episodes had potential in a way that they tried some psychological elements that were working at some point, but then they dropped them halfway through the anime, which then led to all this stupid mystery and investigation stuff that a 10-year-old boy was doing instead of, actually, using logic. And that's kind of like the crux of this whole series. It's like, it's really like I don't know. They even tried a whole thing with like Sadaru like going out of character and gonna kill like Hinazuki's mother, and I was like, no, don't even try that. Don't even do that to me, show. But yeah, I give the show a 4 out of 10. And tell me what you guys think. I know it's a little low. I know some people might like this show. I know a lot of people actually, are realizing that the show isn't that good. And I actually give like a little applause to those people. It's like, I'm glad that you're starting to realize just like how bad some shows can be. I'm not saying all anime is bad. I love anime and I know there's some great shows out there. But this mystery, not a good mystery. I've seen better mysteries out there. But yeah, tell me what you guys think about this anime, and I will talk to you guys later.